Welcome, engineers. I'm Ambushbug. I'm that crazy guy that does all the no hazmat permit stuff. And this is a guided tour of the Battery Management Station 4.0. So, starting out here, we got all the manufacturer supply. You don't really have to pay too much attention to it. Up here at top, these are the drain ILSs that pull batteries from the network. And here are the injection ILSs that put them back in. And we got manufacturer here. You'll see lots of Tesla towers surrounded by single rings of Mark 1 belts. These are wires. You do not want to move any of these. You'll also see a border like this. You do not want to place any Tesla towers closer than this border, or else they'll connect and energize these, because they're not energized right now. They're to control switches. We'll get into that in a bit. There's also a border down here, this belt. So, that's the supply end. Let's go fly into the business end. Okay, passing over the main manufacturer end. Storage array for full batteries, storage array for empty batteries. And you'll see that they are numbered. 24,000 per stack. Max capacity of these is 480,000. Alright. So this right here, this is the main output of the factory. It all goes in here, gets evenly divided up. This mainly goes to the auto injector here. And what you'll see here are a bunch of switch boxes, the 2 stacks. In this case, there's 2 right here at the end. They are controlled by these wires. The reason I don't have them down here is that I'd have to have a boatload of belts and a whole bunch of batteries would sit on them. It would just take up more batteries. So, going over the functions. Now, they're all labeled. We'll start with this one here. This is drain empty batteries from the space network. So from space, empty batteries into main storage. To turn it on, put it here. And now you'll see that switch has been energized. And it is now moving batteries across this set of belts into main storage. And note that they get painted on the inbound and outbound. Turn that off. And the same thing here for charged batteries. Come in like so. Also get painted in case they're not. Now, if you're colorblind, the double rings are for switches. Single rings are for do not move. Single battery is empty. Double battery is charged batteries. Turn this one off. And we've got batteries coming in here. Alright, so this one here is full batteries. Take from storage, inject them into space. And they carry along. Well, they carry along for quite a distance. I would like to compact this down at some later date into a polar array, but that would take so much time I'd never get to release it. I already went through 4 versions. Oh yeah, these are the archive spigots. We'll get to that in a bit. But as you can see, they get split up evenly between the ILS and get thrown into the network. We'll turn that off because we need some still in storage to do the rest of this. Okay, moving right along. This one takes empty batteries from the factory array and puts them into main storage. Which we might have already covered earlier, but you know what? Doing it again. Like so. Now, if you ever need to recharge this array from main storage, that's what this switch is for. So, empty batteries from main storage to factory output. Oh, we'll turn off the power array for the moment. and they come in and get split up evenly. Alright, turn that guy off. And here is another inject into space. This time empty batteries. And again, this goes through here and up past these archive spigots. These guys are here just in case you run into a situation where you've got too many batteries for all this storage. You can build off an array over here and then pull them out with the inject switch. Just set preferred output and then out they go. And these guys getting thrown into the network. Now, all those inject switches we just used, this one and this one, they are, you have to pay attention. Now, you turn them on and you have to turn them off. Otherwise, you drain the entire storage. What we got over here is a couple of switches that inject a specific measured amount of batteries for you. You turn on the switch and out they go. You don't have to pay attention until you come back later and turn it off. You don't have to worry about extra batteries getting thrown in. That is all done through these little splitters right here. These are configured. Notice there's only one belt between. So this is configured preferred input on this empty belt that feeds from this container here. So whatever the preferred input in wins. And a filtered output to feed the item from the container, coal in this case, up through the array and back into the container. Now, since most people don't carry coal with them, I had a line come out from the main factory and it feeds in here. So when you first lay this down, you wait for this to fill up and you transfer one set of stacks, the container full into here. You do not want to fill up the big container. It's got to have room left to operate. Alright, we'll turn on the power display so you can see how this is set up. You got this switch that controls the power tower that controls the switch, and it controls this sorter. And the one that puts stuff back into the box is always powered. So to turn this on and inject approximately 52,000 batteries, hence the label down there by the switch. Put it in, coal feeds through, cuts off the battery supply, and then off it goes. This one works exactly the same, has the same container setup. When you first lay this down, you got to put coal in for it to work. But this one's done by a wire, since I had to make sure stuff wasn't powered up all the time, and operates in exactly the same way. So that goes off like that, and then they go flying off into the network. We'll just take a look like this. Nice and even split. Now, the cool thing is, when this is done injecting, it doesn't get any new more batteries until you go and turn off the switch. So, since that one's taken a little bit, we'll go ahead and look at the battery status of the rest of the network. It's the LTMS mod, which I highly recommend. Okay, so we can see full accumulators. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. These are the drain ILSs, and these are various loads spread across the cluster. Now they're all nice and full. Ridiculous speed is the gigacharger that is actually handling all of the supply. So here's load supplying various batteries, and ridiculous speed is requesting a whole bunch of empties, and it will feed them into the network. Okay, that ought to be enough time for one of these to empty. Yeah, they're empty. Okay, so when I destroy the switch, the tower, coal gets cut off, batteries flow back through, and charge this up from storage automatically. You don't have to do anything else. And same thing for the other one. Although it hasn't quite finished emptying yet, but it's okay. Because since I cut off the power here, nothing else can feed out. Yeah, looks like these guys, yeah, they're full, which is fine. You know, they'll get sucked out eventually. That brings us back to the last feature here, the auto inject system. So pretty much like those other switches, the other splitters back in the measured injector that did 52,000 batteries, these are configured with kind of the same override. You got batteries coming in on a preferred input, single belt in between, and then that feeds here. This is filtered output. So if I were to simulate this running out of batteries, I'll just turn off the switches here. Oh, that's gonna take a little bit here. Let's well, actually it's gonna take less time than I thought since the factory's going full blast, but you can see the battery, the empty, starting to feed through. And then in they go in, and it's a full 7,200 per each belt, so they feed in real quick. And then we've got these guys, the traffic monitors. They are configured so that once you get flow, they put up a global alarm. That's silent, by the way, it doesn't make noises. And then they will just inject batteries straight from the factory array, basically until this gets a fresh shipment. Now, since we just simulated it, I'm going to simulate a fresh shipment coming back in by turning on the flow. Batteries cut off. And that is all she wrote. Auto inject will make sure it's pretty conservative, so it won't it won't like inject them willy-nilly. You have to run out for a while and not get any fresh shipments in. But yeah, it can automatically fill your battery supply back up, and along with all the other switches here, you can control your entire power network from here without having to go to your gigacharger. And that is that. Thank you very much, engineers. Make crazy things, because that is how we learn cool stuff.